Thomas was a quiet boy who lived in a peaceful little town called Riverview. The town was surrounded by green hills, tall trees, and a river that flowed like a silver ribbon across the land. People in Riverview were friendly, but Thomas always felt a little different. While other children loved noisy games, running in the streets, or chatting for hours, Thomas preferred to sit alone with broken toys, old radios, or rusted tools, trying to bring them back to life. His father often said with pride, "Thomas doesn't talk much, but his hands speak for him." His mother would smile and add, "He sees possibility where others see problems." Still, Thomas sometimes wished he could be more confident. He wanted people to notice him, not because he was quiet, but because he was capable. However, he didn't know how or when such a moment would come. One summer morning, an important announcement spread through the town like wildfire. The main water pump of Riverview had stopped working. It was the only pump that supplied fresh water to every family. Without it, people couldn't cook, bathe, or even drink clean water. Everyone rushed to the town square where the pump stood. Children held empty buckets, women carried pots, and men tried checking the machine from the outside. Mayor Henderson, a wise but worried man, called for help. Mechanics from nearby towns arrived quickly, but none of them could fix the pump. They opened it, tightened screws, replaced some pipes, and tested the motor. But the pump stood silent, not giving even a drop of water. People grew anxious. The sun was getting hotter, and the town had no backup water source. Children asked for water, animals grew restless, and even the plants began to droop. Thomas stood at a distance, watching everything carefully. He observed how each mechanic worked, what parts they opened and what they ignored. He noticed things others did not. The way the pump vibrated unevenly when someone tried to start it. The faint smell of rust coming from deep inside, and a tiny piece of broken metal lying near the base that nobody seemed to consider important. After some time, Thomas took a deep breath. His heart beat fast. This was not the kind of moment he usually stepped into, but something inside him whispered, "Try. Don't be afraid." Gathering courage, he walked toward the group of adults. The mayor looked at him, slightly confused. "Thomas, is something wrong?" Thomas hesitated, then quietly said, I think I can help." Some people chuckled softly. Others looked surprised. "Thomas, this is a complicated machine," one of the mechanics said kindly. "It's not a toy to fix." Thomas didn't argue. He simply looked at the pump again with calm eyes. Something in his expression made the mayor pause. "Let him try," the mayor finally said. "What do we have to lose now?" Thomas knelt beside the pump. His hands trembled slightly, but he focused. He opened the lower panel, something no mechanic had bothered to examine. Deep inside, a small gear had snapped in half, causing the whole system to jam. The broken piece he spotted on the ground belonged exactly there. Thomas gently removed the damaged gear. Then he searched through the toolboxes lying around. After a few minutes, he found an old spare gear of the same size. It wasn't perfect, but it could work temporarily. He cleaned the rust, aligned the gear, tightened the screws, and checked every connection twice. Sweat rolled down his forehead, but he stayed calm and steady. When he stood up, people watched him silently. Thomas nodded to the mayor. "Please try starting the pump now." The mayor pressed the switch. For a second, nothing happened. A ripple of disappointment spread through the crowd. But then, a low rumble, a louder vibration, and suddenly, the pump burst to life. A powerful stream of clear water gushed out, splashing into the buckets. Children screamed with joy, women smiled with relief, and the entire town erupted into applause. "Thomas did it," someone shouted. "Thomas saved the day," cried another. The quiet boy who rarely spoke had become the hero of Riverview in just a few minutes. Thomas stood still, feeling a warm wave of pride rush through him. For the first time, he wasn't standing in the background. People weren't laughing at his silence. They were celebrating his talent, his patience, and his courage. The mayor placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You have a gift, Thomas. You saw what even experts could not. Today, you didn't just fix a machine. You helped an entire town." Thomas's parents hugged him tightly when he returned home. His mother whispered, "See, you were never meant to hide. Your talent shines when the world needs it." The news of Thomas's achievement spread quickly. People from other towns began bringing their broken tools and machines, hoping the quiet boy could repair them. Thomas didn't brag or show off. He simply used his skill with love and care. Over time, Thomas built a small workshop of his own. He called it the Helping Hands. It wasn't fancy, but it was filled with tools, gears, wires, and endless possibilities. People came not only for repairs, but also for advice, and Thomas always greeted them with a calm smile. The moment at the water pump changed him forever. It taught him an important truth. You don't need a loud voice to make a big difference. Even the quietest person can create the strongest impact when they believe in themselves. Thomas grew into a confident young man, known not for his silence, but for his skill, kindness, and determination. And whenever he felt unsure, he remembered the day he fixed more than a machine. He fixed his own belief in himself. Subscribe English Vocabulary official channel.